build you a computer, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go through all the parts, and then Daddy's going to take this side panel off so you can see all the inside. And then I'll show you all the individual pieces and how it goes together. And then we're going to hook everything up. We're going to turn the computer on, okay? All right. So.
When I thumbs up, that means yes.
All right. So this is a mouse. And
What's
you know
a
what?
mouse?
A mouse is what controls the little thing on the screen that points at stuff. So if you want to open something, you move the mouse until the little thing on the screen goes to where you want to go, and then you hit the button. Okay?
Like if I wanted to play a game?
Yep, exactly. So.
Or I would want to show?
Yep.
My tablet doesn't work like that, though. You just push the things you want.
Yep, it's kind of like that, but instead of using your finger, you use the mouse to move a little icon that clicks on something.
But last time I tried my finger on Mama's computer, it happened. It worked.
Well, Mama's computer has a touchscreen, so this doesn't have a touchscreen. You know what this is, right?
That's a board where you just tap things that you want.
Yep.
That you have to do.
Yep, it's called a keyboard. So you can type letters,
I know
and
that.
numbers, and symbols.
Daddy, I already know that. Mama taught me that.
Okay, good job. Do you know what this is?
That's a plug-in.
It is a plug-in. It's a power cord.
I know that because I've seen a lot.
Yep. We plug the power cord into...
That goes into the wall.
That goes into the wall, the outlet. This is called a power strip or a surge protector. That protects a computer if we have like a power outage or if the power goes on and off really fast and surges, which can damage electronics.
You mean last time we had our power went off really fast once we were watching football field, but my tablet was still okay.
Yeah, because your tablet's not plugged in.
Well, yeah.
Because it runs off of a battery. But this is plugged into the wall. Okay, so do you know what these are?
I know, but my tablet always plugs into the table in the living room.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what these are?
No.
These are cables. And this is called a display cable. And this plugs into the back of the computer and into the monitor, and that's how the picture gets on the screen, kind of like a TV.
Or a tablet.
Or a tablet.
Or a computer.
Or a computer, yeah. So we only need one. Okay, so this is the inside of your computer.
I know, Daddy, I've seen that.
I know, but I'm going to tell you what everything does. So right down here, that's the hard drive.
What's a hard drive?
Hard drive is kind of
like a car driving on the road?
No, this is kind of like the brain of a computer in a sense. It has all the memory.
That looks like a robot.
Yeah, it's like your long-term memories. The stuff that you remember from a long time ago, that's the same stuff that's on this hard drive. It's stuff that it remembers for a very long time. And this right
so,
here...
So, like, I remember Linnea soup because I know her name because we went there before.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very long.
Yeah, exactly. Careful, sweetheart. This right here is called a cooling fan. You've got two of them here. It's a little dusty. I'll have to clean this eventually, but this keeps things cool inside the case because we don't want them to get too hot. Beneath this is called a heat
Or the
sink.
batteries would die.
Right. Well, it could just be bad for the computer because stuff could get broken. Beneath this fan right here is called a heat sink. And what that does is it helps absorb heat from the processor of the computer and keep it cool by using the cooling fan and using the metal. The processor beneath the metal, that's the brain of the computer that does all the thinking.
Like our brain?
Yep, just like our brain. It does all the operations and all the thinking, and then it accesses the long-term memory, and then right here, these little sticks, that's the short-term memory, or the RAM, random access memory.
Like short?
No, not like that, honey. Like when you just learn something new, like how to use a computer, but you forget it if you don't do it again very soon, that's where that memory gets stored. So like when you're playing a game, that game gets loaded into memory, or part of it does anyway.
Like I don't remember the racing car game and Mario Party. Oh, this is my hat.
Kind of.
This is my thing.
Yep, you're right. Okay, so that's the short-term memory that actually runs the games and stuff. Yep, you're enjoying that popsicle. This right here, honey, this is where this cable plugs into. That's called a graphics card, or a GPU.
Like a card?
Yep, it's exactly like a card. It plugs into a little socket, kind of like an outlet, on what's called the motherboard, which is where everything goes
Like
and
my
everything's
mother?
connected. Just like your mother. Like when you're when a mom's having a baby, the baby's all hooked up to the mother, so the baby gets food and power or energy, and it can do all the things it needs to do to grow. Well, the computer's kind of the same. It gets connected to the motherboard so it can access everything it needs to do to put everything you want to do on the screen. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This one also has what's called a modem. That used to be, a long time ago, you plug it into the telephone, which used to be in the wall, and it would make a dial tone, kind of like when you dial your phone, and you hear beep, 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 beep. You used to do that so you could get on the internet. But now, like on your tablet, the internet's just sort of everywhere.
Yeah, like the TV, or a phone, or a computer.
Yep, exactly. And this right here, this is called a power supply. This is where everything plugs into it, and then that plugs into the wall. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay.
Is that all?
That's basically everything, honey bun. So we'll put this side panel back on. Might be a little bit bent, but that's okay. We're going to put this down for just a second. I want to show you the front of the computer. Okay, so the front of the computer, this one has a few things. So this one's got a little door down here, and behind here you can put in headphones or a microphone, or you can plug in a device that brings sound right into the computer. It's also got little ports on the front that are called USB, Universal Serial Bus.
I think I would do the headphones.
Yeah, probably. This is where you can plug things in, like your mouse or your keyboard, or if you have...
Tablet.
Yeah, your tablet can go here and it can charge your tablet. And this is kind of similar. It's called a FireWire port. They don't use these anymore, but this one used to be used for the same kind of thing. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is a pocket media bay. We're not going to use it. You don't need to know about it. Up here, this is a CD drive. So it's okay.
I'll pick that up.
That's all right. So this is where you can put in CDs or DVDs, like your movies, honey. Oh, thank you. That's very helpful. So you can put your CDs for music or your DVDs for movies or sometimes games. They go in here. You press this button and the door will pop open and a little tray comes out and you put the disc in. And then you push the tray back in, it loads it up, and then the computer reads it, and then it can play it on the screen or through the speakers. Make sense?
Like the Sneaky Cheese Man story?
Like the Sneaky Cheese Man story. And then this up here is a card reader. So it has it's like other CDs, but they're little small chips. And you push the chips in, and then the computer can read them.
Oh, I like this video.
Okay. All right, so we're going to plug everything together, and then we'll turn your computer on so you can see how it runs, okay?
What's the front one? Wait, what's the front?
The front's over here. This is the back. So the back is where all the cords go in. So we put our power cord in, and we'll plug it in to the outlet once everything else is plugged in, okay? Because we don't want to turn the power on and accidentally get shocked. Because we don't ever play with cords or outlets, right, Boob?
Yes.
All right. So this is a new cable. And these cables come with little protectors so they don't bend the pins. These pins are where the picture goes through. So we'll leave this side on because we're not going to plug that into the monitor just yet. All right. I'm going to plug this.
Because we don't want to get shocked.
Right, exactly. When we plug
Like
this into...
sometimes I get shocked when I'm on the slide, just like that, right?
Yeah, that's kind of like that. That's called static electricity. Do you know what, remember what this was? This card? This is the display card, the graphics card, the GPU. That's where your monitor cable screws in. It's got two little screws on the side. It goes in there.
If I start looking inside, that means it's about to melt.
Yep, your popsicle's gonna melt soon. Okay. Then we're gonna plug in your mouse.
Daddy, I have to make different sounds because that's how you look.
I know, honey, I know. Okay, so we got your mouse plugged in, and then you always need your keyboard.
To plug that into.
Yeah. Here, you can hold this. All right. Plug your keyboard in, and then your monitor, Goober. Your monitor actually has its own speakers, so it's got a little cable that will plug into the back, so if you want to listen to music or hear sound, you can actually hear it through these little speakers right here, and that controls the volume. So we're going to make sure that's turned on but not too loud, and we'll put that, see, green to green, that's the speaker port. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay.
But it's not red because the other one's not plugged in.
Right. And also, we need to plug in.
Is that how the TV really goes?
No, you can just rotate it because it's designed to move. But we still have to plug in our graphics card to the monitor so it can display the picture. So we match up the port with the cord. And then we plug it in. And how many screws does this cord have?
1.
2. There's one on each side, and then 2 on the other side, so it's a total of 4. But there's 2 in the monitor and 2 into the computer. It doesn't necessarily have to go all the way in, but okay. So on this monitor, we also need to have power because it's like a TV. It's got to be plugged in, right? So we've got another power cord. And back in the old times, listen,
Can I
honey.
go upstairs and get this away?
In a little bit, okay? Here, I've got a garbage bag actually, right up here. Oops. There we go. Okay, so now that you're done with your popsicle, we'll go ahead and get this power cord plugged in.
Wait, Daddy, I'm not done because I have to punch it out.
Okay, so I'm going to plug the power cord into the monitor. Here, you see what I'm doing, sweetie? Are you looking? You're not looking.
That's easy.
Okay. So there's our power cord. And
Daddy,
now-
if I don't want where I'm going, I'll go to the door.
I know. Okay, there. So now we've got both power cords and everything else is plugged in the way it should be. We're just gonna try and keep the cables from getting too messy. Okay, so I'm gonna spin the monitor so we can make a little space. And we'll move that over here, and then I'll
So
take.
you mean this thing is plugged into the computer?
Yeah, it's plugged into the computer. And this tells the computer how to do stuff, and you can type, and you can do all sorts of other things with it.
I'll type Mama's name, your name, and my name.
That sounds
Buddy's
like,
name, and Zoe's
sounds
name,
like a
Carter's
great
name,
idea.
And Bruce's name, and
Okay.
the fishy's name.
So now,
But we haven't named the other ones yet, so not their names.
okay,
I think I'm going to call the fishy's Callie.
okay, all
And
right.
the snail Snally.
Okay, so now we're gonna turn everything on, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we push this power switch, and then the monitor should come on. Just like that.
Green means go.
Yep, you're right. Okay, so the monitor's turned on. And now this computer has a power button, honey. Right up here. You press that button, and then you'll see the picture come on the screen here. And see, this is called the test. So it runs what's called a powered on self-test to make sure everything's connected correctly. And then the computer will boot up to Windows. And Windows is called an operating system. And that basically runs the computer for you, so then you can do what you want to do with the computer on the screen. Honey, you understand?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
That's a lot of trophies and helmets.
Yep, sure is. Okay. You see how it's loading there?
Usually Mama's games download differently now.
That's true. Your tablet has different downloads. And it's probably quite a bit
Mine
faster.
goes in a circle.
In a circle, yeah.
Yeah. Some on triangles, squares, or any kind of shape.
Yep. This one has a little bar with little squares that go across. And your operating system on your computer is called Windows XP. I believe. Or it might be Vista.
Or Kema. Actually, Kema.
It's Vista. All right.
Actually, Kema is a name. That's a robot.
Yep. And so I have to change the name on it because this is a computer Daddy rescued, and then set you a new password. We'll get it logged in.
Password.
I'm not going to tell you the password right now.
Why?
Because I'll tell you later. But this is how you log in, and then once you're logged in, then you can pull up games and you can play with the computer. Just like that.
Is there any games on here?
Let's see. Let's see if there's a game you can play.
Ooh, an easy game that I can have?
Yeah, I'm sure we can find an easy game.
Well, because I'm really bad at grown-up games.
That's okay.
But I'm really good at Rings games.
Okay.
Not so good as Run Legos.
Let's see. This is a classic game. Comes with a lot of computers.
But all we need is flowers. We haven't got enough flowers yet.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think it'll let me make the screen bigger too much, but
That's not the game I like.
okay. So for this game, you use the mouse, and then you just click a square. The square turns light blue when you're hovering over it, so that is the one you're going to be clicking. Okay. So you just pick a square. Go ahead. Oop. And that button puts a flag on the square. But before you do that, maybe you should just click a square and see what happens. So use the other button.
Oh, I forgot.
That's okay. Go
I
ahead.
didn't know it was the other side.
Go ahead.
That was a
Just
whole-
click one time.
that one.
There. See?
Oh,
All right.
that's
So
all ones.
this game is called Minesweeper. So the numbers tell you where the mines might be and how many mines there are. So this one on the corner is only connected to this block. So you know that there's one mine connected to this block, and this is the only block connected to it. So then we use the other button to put a flag on it. And then you can click all the ones around it, and that's how you find the mines. This game's called Minesweeper. Okay? So
That's
there's,
not so easy for me. I want a different.
well, this is the easiest one on here. So this one's a 1, and it's only connected to this square. Do you think there's a mine here?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
there it is.
There's a mine.
Think there's a mine here?
Yes.
All right, good job. How about right here?
Yes.
All right. Now here's one that's touching 2 mines, and this one's touching 3, but this square's touching 1. So do you think this is a mine?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, this one's touching 3 mines. This one's touching 3 mines as well. This one's touching 1, this one's touching 1, and this one's touching 1. So do you think this is the mine or this is the mine?
Oh no. Hey, Daddy, where did my ball go?
You don't need it right now.
But where did it go?
I'll tell you in a bit. Okay, now we got 4 mines. Oh boy. So this one's touching 2 mines, we know for sure. Now any one of these ones could be a mine. So do we want to maybe try and figure out between these two which one the mine is?
Well, yes.
Okay,
That should be mine.
let's try this. Oh boy. So we know this one's only touching 1 mine. So we know one of these two is definitely a mine, so this one's not a mine. This one's touching 2 mines. So one of these 3 is definitely a mine. But we know this one's touching 4. So this one must not be a mine.
You have two big teeth.
Watch the screen, please. So we know these are all mines. Okay? Because this one's 4. All the ones surrounding it must be mines. And we know this one's not a mine because this one's only touching 3 mines. Sit back, please.
Was this
Okay.
game?
Linnea, sit back, please. Okay, so we know this one's only touching 2. This one's only touching 1. This is definitely a mine. So that one's not a mine. And that one's not a mine. But this must be a mine. This one must be a mine. These are not mines.
So one, not one.
Are you excited? You have a computer.
You're the best dada.
I love you.
I love you.